On this week of Hip Hop Now podcast, my thoughts on the Tay Roc versus Hollow the Don Summer Madness battle, and we answer the question: is battle rap dead?
Let's get right to business. Read these headlines. This album must be gone. This album must be gone. Classic album. Come to Hip Hop Podcast.
What up, y'all? I am Vegas, and this is Hip Hop Now Podcast Extra, a podcast designed to catch you up on all things hip hop music and culture that happened throughout the week. You can follow me on social media, that being Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, at Vegas World INC. That's Vegas World INC. Also know I have a YouTube page that consists of not just hip-hop content, but video games and all kinds of other things that you could check out. It's called the B-Roll Network, letter B, space, ROLE Network, B-Roll Network, as in footage, you know what I'm saying? But it means something else also. Big shout out to those listening for the first time, and a super shout out to those who are returning listeners who've been supporting since day one. I appreciate you, and I would appreciate if all of you get together and share this content with people you know enjoy hip-hop music and, more importantly, the culture. First and foremost, big shout out to hiphopdx.com. Also, shout out to the Everyday Struggle podcast, and absolutely a big salute to URL TV, Smack, Beasley, all of them dudes that keep battle rap alive, but in particular this battle, because we're going to talk about it. So let's talk about this battle that happened real quick before we get into the question of, is battle rap dead? Now, when it comes to this battle, it happened on September 10th, 2017, you know, if you're listening in the future. Summer Madness 6, you know, tradition in battle rap culture, URL. The headlining battle was Tay Roc from B-More, by the way, versus the legend Hollow the Don from Queens. And these are two of some of my favorite MCs that battle in the battle rap circuit, hands down. I just enjoy and anticipate their battles because they're always going to give you what you need. Now, Tay Roc, if you don't know, his style is more like gun bars, meaning, you know, he talks a lot about guns, but it's about the schemes, it's about the technique and the skill in which he talks about them. It's not just, yo, I shoot you in your face, you be dead, and the bars. Nah, it's a little bit more intricate than that, and that's why he refers to himself as the gun bar king. He's kind of been proving it over time, even though some people will debate certain battles, and I get that. And then there's Hollow the Don, a legend who's been in the battle rap game for a minute. You know, when you look at certain leagues or whatever, like if you look at NBA, and if it's like, yo, right off the top of your head, name your top 5, you know, there's just certain people that's going to get mentioned, like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with other sports. Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying? Sugar Ray Robinson. Hey, Floyd Mayweather, you could throw him in there. But battle rap, there's Hollow the Don, Loaded Lux, Murder Mook. You know what I'm saying? These are like the Mount Rushmore of battle rap as far as the beginnings. And these dudes are still nice. Last week on my podcast, I reviewed a battle of Loaded Lux versus Arsenal, which was pretty dope. You should check that out. Shout out to UW. But this took place on the Summer Madness 6 stage, URL, in New York City. And if you don't know, 3 rounds of battle rap. Each contestant gets to go, take their turn. And after watching it, and I just want to say, like, this is not going to be like last week. Maybe I'll add the footage once URL releases it. But it was on pay-per-view, which I didn't watch. But I wound up catching one of the YouTube joints. You know, somebody recorded it or whatever. I wound up catching one of those. Wasn't the greatest viewing experience, but nevertheless, I was able to watch it and critique the battle for what it was. And initially, right? Initially, I was more like, I think that's a draw, because I looked at the first round, right? And I felt like that was Tay Roc's strongest round, the first round, right? And I felt like, well, maybe, I'm flip-flopping already, but I felt like Tay Roc was somewhat strong in that first round. But I felt like Hollow was stronger. And then in the second round, Tay Roc kind of came on a little bit, but I still felt like Hollow was a little better. So maybe more so, okay, let's rewind, because now I'm mixing up my thoughts. The thing is the first round, I felt like Hollow, his stuff was more appealing. Let's put it that way. Whereas Tay Roc seemed more like he was trying to amp himself up. He had bars, but he seemed like he was trying to amp himself up. So initially, I gave that to Hollow. Second round, I felt like Hollow was dope, but Tay Roc kind of got in his bag. So I gave that to Tay Roc. In the third round, I felt like Hollow did a good job of closing it out. Now, I initially felt like it was a tie between those two. But now I feel like it's more 2-1. Having watched it again, because of the simple fact that I feel like what Hollow said and his performance and his antics, nothing crazy, but his antics, they stuck out with me a little bit more. I remember them. It's, even though Tay Roc said he had some stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember it as much as I remember what Hollow was doing. And I think they were just throwing a lot of blows, man. So to be fair, I could say it's tied. But if you told me, I put it this way, nobody got 3-0'd. Nobody lost 3 rounds straight. Neither one of them. But if you told me you want to give 2 to Hollow, I wouldn't argue on that. I just wouldn't. And Tay Roc is probably my favorite as far as the current MCs, because this dude just comes up with all kinds of schemes of ways how to talk about a gun and everything. Like he had some joints, man. Like, this is a battle that you can watch over and over and your opinion will change just as mine did within the last 5 minutes. It's really that good. Now, the thing about it I didn't like was the crowd, because the crowd interfered a lot, talked a lot when these dudes were supposed to be performing, which kind of takes away from it. And sometimes the live battle rap crowd can suck. Which brings me to my point. Now, first, before I get to that point, what did you think about that battle if you did see it? Did you think Tay Roc won? Did you think Hollow won? How you score it? Leave your comments in the comments section below if you're on SoundCloud, or leave it on iTunes or Google Play Music. It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere, B. Spreaker, wherever it is, I'll go seek it out, look at it, read it, get it. Or you can hit me on Twitter at Vegas World INC. Now, let's get into the question, though. Battle rap, right? There's somebody who's listening to this right now who's like, yo, what is he even talking about? What battle rap? Jay-Z? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some dudes really only know battle rap as it relates to diss records in the recording industry. Honestly. And that is a form of battle rap. Don't get it twisted. But this battle rap culture, these leagues that I'm talking about, is more about the traditional battle rap. No beat, straight up a cappella, surrounded by your peers, and they judge you. That's like the essence, the core. That's the core of where any respectable MC has begun. If you've never been in a cypher, or have never had to battle anybody, I don't care if you battled a chump, never even had to battle anybody, compete against anybody lyrically, you're not an MC. I don't subscribe to the if you can freestyle or blah, 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 blah. Some dudes is good freestylers, some dudes are better songwriters. That doesn't make you a bad MC if you can't do both or either. But if you're not battle tested Again, whether you're in a cypher rhyming amongst other dudes or battling someone head to head, you cannot consider yourself an MC. You are a rapper. That's it. But on the Joe Budden podcast featuring academics and the chick, no disrespect, but I really don't know her name because I don't get to hear the podcast as much. They talked about whether or not, or debated whether or not battle rap is dead, and Hollow the Don was a guest. Fresh off the battle with Tay Roc. Now, I did hear some of the podcast, but to summarize it, and you can check it out, it's called Everyday Struggle. Maybe I'll leave that link in the description. But the arguments on both sides was that Joe Budden gave the impression that battle rap was dead. Like it missed its point. It had its time. Now it's dead. And Hollow was coming from the point of dead to who? From what perspective? Now, let's talk about those two perspectives real quick. From Joe Budden's perspective, I guess Joe Budden is trying to say that there was a point in which there was a lot of mainstream attention and eyes and money on the battle rap culture, to the point where a lot of battle rappers weren't just making money off their battles. Now they were getting on television shows. And if you watch a show like Wild 'N Out, that includes a number of battle rappers on there, including this new movie from Eminem. I forget the name, that came out that features nothing but battle rappers and is somewhat a satire of battle rap itself. Which is dope. I told you, Eminem for the culture. Stop hating. You ain't make it. Nah, I'm just chilling. But the thing is I agree with Joe Budden from that standpoint to an extent. I think what I won't say, well, let's just go there. I think what killed the buzz of battle rap on a mainstream level was the fact that when they put together that Total Slaughter joint, you know what I'm saying, where you had Joe Budden versus Hollow the Don, a mainstream industry rapper versus a battle rapper, go sour because Joe Budden wanted things that just weren't a part of the battle rap culture, as if he never got the rules. You can check that video out of him saying to stop my time. That's not how battle rap works. And throwing the microphone down. It's just not how it works, man. It's not how it works. Because he was losing. But it wasn't the best performance from Hollow either. So that kind of was a buzzkill. But the main event was a rematch or rubber match between two of those other, pillars in battle rap. That being Murder Mook versus Loaded Lux. Which most people agreed that Loaded Lux didn't perform as well as he usually does. So it was a huge disappointment for something that was supposed to launch this thing into another stratosphere. And a lot of people with money, especially a lot of rappers with money who started their own leagues and things like that, started to fall back on it because the interest wasn't there. Now, the interest not being there comes from a whole nother thinking, and this is where we get to Hollow the Don's thinking. The battle rap culture, the battle rap community is as big as it's ever been. It's just not pop culture. See, not that Eminem's efforts and Snoop's efforts and all these guys who started their leagues was to make battle rap pop, but try to make it a part of pop culture in a way where it can keep its integrity, but be popular on another level. Introduce people to what some of these cats are doing. And it kind of failed at that on its first outing. Maybe the movie would do something different, but if you come to the underground, come to the streets, come to the essence of the culture of hip hop, podcasts like this that talk about it, and Everyday Struggle, battle rap is alive and well. It's alive and well. There's a lot of up and coming dudes who are nice. You know, sometimes you may feel like you've heard it all, but until somebody says something that's crazy, then you know you haven't heard it all. So Hollow's point, I also agree with, because it's not dead in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people like to generalize things and say something's dead because everybody else isn't talking about it, right? Like, a lot of people complain about the iPhone not changing, right? But if you enjoy the iPhone and everything you need to do, you get done as fast as you get it done and is in the way you like it, it ain't dead. It ain't falling off. You don't need millions of people to purchase an iPhone in order for you to feel good about your purchase. So it's the same thing with battle rap. There's a lot of battle rap fans who do not see the need for a cosign from anyone in order to feel like what they watched at Summer Madness or any other battle isn't worth it. Because it is. That battle with Tay Roc and Hollow the Don, even though there were some hiccups here and there, it just strengthens my faith in battle rap, because it's like these dudes continue to get nice. They continue to come up with dope stuff. They continue to be showmen. You know what I'm saying? In one way or another. And yes, it could be a little exclusive if you don't know the history of certain artists and the history of certain battles they may reference, or incidents that may be referenced in battles. But that's kind of the point. That's kind of what makes it exciting. You know what I'm saying? Is the fact that a dude is saying something about another rapper on stage, or another battle rapper on stage, and you see the crowd is going crazy. Now you want to know, what is he talking about exactly? So you go on the internet, you go down that rabbit hole, you find it. And in a lot of cases, it'd be like, yo, you know, remember that time you got your chain snatched by such and such on such and such? You go and Google it, you can watch him getting his chain snatched. Like, it's a whole new world. So the whole notion that battle rap is dead is nonsense. It's just the fact that there are a lot of people who don't understand it, so they stay away from it. There's a lot of hip hop fans who want battle rap to go a certain way. You know, they don't like the acapella. You know, they don't like the placating to the crowd a whole bunch and all of that. And more importantly, in 2017, when you listen to mainstream radio, you're not being forced to think about anything. Hip hop and R&B, put it together. Not anything. There are many records where you have to listen to the lyrics to be like, oh, he said that. Yeah. You don't. So when you look at, you know, battle rap, you got to listen. You got to follow. Sometimes they repeat themselves slowly. But once you get one scheme, once you hear it yourself, or they break it down so you understand it, then it's kind of like the floodgates open. It's like a light bulb goes off in your head that, yo, this is dope. This is worth my time. This is worth my money. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of it. It's pure hip hop lyricism. Like, honestly. And, you know, it sounds like a commercial, but no, I'm a fan of hip hop. And if you're listening to this podcast, I assume you are, or maybe you are just interested in the world of hip hop and lyricism. But this is what this is for. And maybe it's only going to be for the underground. Who knows? But let's talk about the future of battle rap. Now, can battle rap continue to go on in its current state? I think so. I liken it to independent rappers, right? Let's look at Chance the Rapper. I know there's some people who are already sick of him. That album was dope. It deserved the Grammy, to be honest. It did. But the thing is him and other artists are showing that they're going to do things their way, and no label is going to dictate their lyrics, their selections as far as who they're going to work with, production wise, as long as they're not, that artist or whoever's not on another label contractually. There's no compromise. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of forced the industry to adapt to people like that or artists like that who are independent and who are selling without, the big labels getting a chunk. But with battle rap, it's kind of the opposite, if you ask me. I think battle rap needs to go a little bit more mainstream, but it has to do it on an underground level, right? You can't have the big showcases with all the money and the sponsors. Battle rap has gotta be like, you ever seen esports before? You know what I'm saying? The video game leagues where these guys have all these sponsors and they making money and they have these annual events and these leagues and this and that. Esports and battle rap have a lot in common. The only difference is esports has a ton of big sponsors. You know why? Because a lot of people watch it more than you think. Why do you think when you turned on ESPN to see what game was on or to get the update on, sports in general, and you see a dude with a mouse and keyboard playing a video game? Why the hell is this on ESPN? There's a good reason. There are millions of people that watch it. And now ESPN couldn't really turn a blind eye or thumb their nose that that's not sports, because there's an audience for it. And that's the thing with battle rap. There's a growing audience for it. A couple of months ago, or maybe last month or whatever, I mentioned a battle in Russia. Battle rap looked no different from what we see here in the U.S. with URL and King of the Dot and all that. Looked no different, just in Russian. Two dudes battling. I believe that battle has 22 million views on YouTube or wherever it is. That is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's where battle rap is headed. But it takes these leagues to get their business together in regards to the sponsors. For one, can't have no fights, can't have no craziness going on. I think with URL and some of these other joints, you got to have some space. King of the Dot, there's some space. People are surrounding the battle rappers, but there's some space. URL, the stage is way too crowded. Way too crowded. And I just think that it just needs to be tweaked a little bit, where it maintains that feeling of being on the streets and watching a live rap battle. But Pepsi and Coca-Cola and McDonald's and whoever else you could think of is sponsoring it. You know what I'm saying? Not none of that, no disrespect. I'm from the hood too. But I'm sorry, it can't be like, 2018 Battlecore sponsored by Birthday Cake Wine. Like, yo, no, it can't be that. It gotta be some big names, because that's where the attention is placed. And more importantly, and this is a gem, one for free, maybe one of y'all could do out there, somebody has to cover it, because that's one thing that esports has as well. Not only do they have the battle rappers, they're doing a thing as the professional athletes, so to speak. You need commentators who can tell you what you heard and what you saw, because you need that, because not everybody, even the biggest hip hop fan, may not be able to follow every punchline. Just because some people can doesn't mean everybody can. Esports has that. Battle rap needs that. They need not just podcasts about it, not just everybody recapping and there's a million videos all over the world. They need a voice. They need a destination, a place, a source that is, this is where I go to hear about the recap. This is where I go because I respect these dudes' knowledge of battle rap. You got to treat it just like the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Dudes retire and you look up and they're commentating on the game. Why would you listen to Charles Barkley when he's talking basketball? Not that other stuff when he's talking basketball. Why? Because he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Period. So it's the same thing. You need those same types of elements in order to make it mainstream and to keep that integrity. You're welcome, Battle Rap. That's going to do it for me. Follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. If Facebook is what you like, facebook.com/hip hop right now. Hit that like button. Check out all the updates, hip hop, all kinds of stuff going on there. Also, please know this podcast is not available in one place. Not at all. It is available on every device. Laptops, iOS, Android. You want to do iTunes? Cool. Google Play Music, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker, and SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast. Until next week, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.
Drop it on the random.